Halo, the Master Chief Collection, released over 4 years ago. It's kind of crazy when you think about how much time has passed between then and now, but even crazier is the state of MCC today versus back then. Thankfully, the game is radically improved, and that is a result of a ton of effort and support over the last year with the Mcc Insider Program. Today, we will look at Halo MCC in 2019, and I will try and convince you to play right now while I think a very special thing is happening. We're in a bit of a magical time between Halo Infinite and Halo 5, where classic Halo support is occurring at a tournament level. There's momentum from the community behind this reinvigorated MCC that has benefited from support from 343, and these patches and improvements just keep coming down the pipeline, creating what I think could be one of the last great classic Halo resurgences before we enter into the Halo Infinite era. And I think anybody that has been a Halo fan at some point in their life needs to hop on MCC for some games if you have yet to play the improved experience. So, let's dive in. MCC back in 2014 upon release, well, it was a pretty disastrous release. The game was pushed out way sooner than when it should have been released. And I think that's a result of obviously the Xbox One being kind of fresh at the time. Additionally, Xbox 360 network architecture did not play well with Xbox One. The small-scale internal testing that the developers did for MCC did not prepare them in the slightest for what the large-scale wild experience was for MCC once it was pushed out to the general public. For the first year, really the first 6 months, it was almost impossible to matchmake into games of Halo MCC. The times to get into games could be upwards of 2 hours, and then you get thrown into a 3v4 match, and the experience was rough. To say that there were bugs aplenty would be an understatement. All of the titles in the pantheon within MCC had issues and bug lists that needed to be addressed, and the community started building those bug lists, and they looked so big, it just was insurmountable for anybody to imagine it would actually get tackled. Halo 5 releases a year later in 2015 and takes the spotlight. The MCC community didn't really hear a whole lot during the first year and a half or two that the game was out. However, I don't remember the exact date of it, but Bonnie Ross got onto one of the Halo community streams and started talking about a renewed interest in fixing MCC, in making it the product that they always had envisioned it to be. This was right around the time that Xbox One X was in the picture, and the idea, or at least the rumors were, they were going to utilize this opportunity as MCC was coming to Game Pass to improve the title, do Xbox One X enhancements, and make the game what it always should have been. And that leads into last year. The Mcc Insider Program was a 343-led initiative that had a dedicated team of engineers and analysts and a lot of people who wanted to improve MCC. They invited anybody in the community to join in, giving preference to those who had stuck with MCC the longest and those who had remained dedicated to it. And over the course of a lot of test builds, surveys, feedback loops, they were able to improve MCC. And by the time the game was put onto Game Pass last fall, it was in a radically improved state. But the support didn't end there. We've seen continued support from 343 in the form of ongoing patches. And that brings us to today, where Halo MCC is in an extremely good playable state. Not only do you have the resurgence of great matchmaking times alongside dedicated servers implemented across, like I said, the whole pantheon of titles, you have cool new features like the Match Composer. If you've ever played Titanfall 2, you know this lets you select which playlists you are interested in participating within. Same story here. You can pick the game types, the player sizes, and the games that you're interested in searching, and to my surprise, it works really well. They just released the new updated aiming settings as well, which is the catalyst for creating this video. For the longest time, the Xbox One controller did not really feel like the old school Halo controls. Every time that you would aim, it just didn't feel like the 360 days. Nothing highlighted this more than when I created my 360 video a few weeks ago, and I got to play on the sticks of an old 360, and it's like, okay, this feels really good. Well, 343's known about this for quite some time, and through a lot of tweaks and testing, they've now released a new modern aiming setting that is absolutely worth checking out. Finally, 343 have been supporting classic Halo tournaments. Now that the Halo 5 HCS scene has come to a conclusion and we're waiting for Halo Infinite and that next tournament scene to begin, Halo 3 tournaments have made a resurgence. And through the grassroots program or whatever that 343 is doing, you are seeing more tournaments saying, hey, we'll run a Halo 3 tourney, that sounds fun. And that brings us to today. MCC in 2019 is in a much better place. It's worth your time and it's worth checking out. Doesn't mean that it's reached its final form. I do believe deep down they could continue to improve MCC with, progression systems similar to Reach, or maybe weapon skins, more unlockable cosmetics, and more events to participate within. All of those sound quite realistic to me. However, I don't doubt that Infinite is on the horizon at some point down the road. As mentioned at the start of this video, we are in a special time in between Infinite and Halo 5, where there is a scene of MCC players enjoying this game and finally experiencing what I think most of us expected back in 2014. Now all that's left is a PC release, right? Right? Please, 343, bring it to PC, please. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe for more. Follow me over on Twitter at BBKDRAGOON. I'd love to talk with you guys over there. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk with you again very soon.